Okay. So today we are going to start relative motion. So first thing that we need to understand is relative position. Relative position. See, suppose this is origin, and we have 2 points here, point A and point B. So we will say that what is the position of A with respect to origin, or you can say that position of point A. Yes, let's say this only position of point A with respect to origin. This is the position of point A with respect to origin, and this is the position of point B with respect to origin. So we'll write this RA means position of point A with respect to origin. So RA is position of point A with respect to origin, and RB is same position of point B with respect to origin. But we are studying about the relative position. Relative position means you have to find out the position of one object with respect to other object. This is the meaning of relative position. So relative position means, suppose I'll write this like position of B with respect to A. It means that position of B with respect to A. So what we'll do? See, suppose you are sitting at A, and now you're observing the position of B. So what you will see? You will see this object to this side like this. You will observe that this object is kept somewhere here if you are sitting at A, right? So this is read as position of B with respect to A. Last one means observer and first one means object. If you do vector addition in this triangle, how will you do? How do you add vectors? RA plus R. Let's say this is your RBA. RBA. This is equal to RB. This is your RB. So RBA means RB minus RA. You can observe one thing. This is the relative position of B with respect to A. So what we are doing here is we are subtracting the position of A in the position of B. So we are subtracting the position of observer in the position of object. So this is the meaning. This is the meaning of the relative position. You can also observe the position of A with respect to B. We can write this position of A with respect to B. It means that B is the observer. Position of A with respect to B. B is the observer, A is the object. So how will you write this? Position of A object minus position of observer. You can see one thing over here. If you take minus out, this will be RB minus RA. So you can write this R of BA. So in vector like we do now, AB vector can be written as minus BA vector. So we are not changing its magnitude. We are just changing its direction. So you have to apply extra minus sign. Understood, everyone? Okay, note it down quickly. Here. Done, guys. Okay. Now, second point is relative velocity. Relative velocity. So it is the rate of change of the relative position. Means velocity of A with respect to B. Somewhere it is also written as V A oblique B, like this. So velocity of A with respect to B can be written as rate of change. Means whenever we talk about rate of change, it is d by dt. Relative position of A with respect to B, or velocity of B with respect to A can be written as d dt of relative position of B with respect to A. Understand? You can see here RAB can be written as RA minus RB, or this can be written as d dt of RB minus RA. So when you simply differentiate it, this will be dRA by dt minus dRB by dt. So this is your rate of change of position of A. So this is VA minus rate of change of position of B, that is VB. So VAB can be written as, so B is the observer. So you have to subtract the velocity of observer. And here it is d dt of RB minus d dt of RA. So VBA can be written as velocity of B minus velocity of A. This is the meaning of relative velocity. Note it down. Note it down. I'll tell you one very important thing. Noted? C. So velocity of A with respect to B can be written as velocity of A minus velocity of B. So you can see here, we can also write like, what we are to do. So we are like, finding the velocity of some object A with respect to some other object B. So what we are doing is we are subtracting the velocity of that object with respect to whom we are trying to find the velocity of some object. So this can also be written as plus minus of B. So B is the observer here and A is the object here. So what we are doing is so see, shortcut, if I say this is shortcut, you have to just reverse the direction of observer and add vectorially to the velocity of object, and you will find the relative velocity of that object with respect to that observer. So what you have to do is you have to reverse the direction of the velocity of observer by 180 degree, and then add it vectorially to the velocity of the object. Understood? Suppose if I take an example, suppose there are two cars. In one car, suppose Archit is sitting and he is traveling with the speed of suppose 10 meter per second. And another car, Shaina, is sitting and she is driving little slow. Or I mean, you can say like, faster. Suppose 15 meter per second. She's in a hurry, right? Now, if I am the observer sitting at ground here, I am the observer. Your master is your observer, right? Then what I'll see? I'll see that Archit is traveling at 10 meter per second and Shaina is traveling at 15 meter per second. So how will I write? So velocity of Archit with respect to observer means me is 10 meter per second. Suppose this is your x direction, positive x direction. So it is, if it is vector, like, we apply I cap. And the velocity of Sina with respect to observer sitting at ground, or you can also write this as velocity of A with respect to ground. So VAG. So that is 15 meter per second I. But if Archit observe Sina's velocity, so it will be written as velocity of Sina with respect to Archit, or velocity of Archit with respect to Shaina. So this can be written as velocity of Shaina minus velocity of Archit. So Shaina is traveling 50 with this speed And we have to add it or separate it vectorially. So take proper direction. And Archit's velocity is tan I. So Archit can see that Shaina is traveling 5 kilometer or 5 meter per second faster than Archit, right? You can also do one thing. Just reverse the direction of Archit because Archit is observer. So just reverse it. So like this. Reverse the direction and add it to Shaina's velocity. So this is your observer, suppose, but this is your observer. So we have reversed the velocity of observer. So now this observer will come into rest. And now Archit will observe that Shaina is actually moving by 15 minus 10. That is 5 meter per second that we got over here. So going forward, what we have to do is we have to reverse the velocity or acceleration of the observer, and we have to add it vectorially to the velocity and acceleration of the object, and an observer will come into rest. Understood? जिस ऑब्जर्वर का जिस ऑब्जर्वर के रेस्पेक्ट में हमें रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी और रिलेटिव एक्सेलरेशन फाइंड करना है ऑब्जेक्ट का, उस ऑब्जर्वर का वेलोसिटी एंड एक्सेलरेशन को ऑपोजिट करके ऐड कर देना है किसमें, ऑब्जेक्ट के वेलोसिटी एंड एक्सेलरेशन में, एंड वी विल कंसीडर दैट ऑब्जर्वर इनटू रेस्ट. वो ऑब्जर्वर रेस्ट को पे माना जाएगा. अंडरस्टूड? डिड यू गाइस understand the concept?
Sir, I don't understand why we have to do that.
See na, just now I have derived the complete thing, and now I am telling you the shortcut. If you don't write these many things, you just have to think in this way.
Okay, sir. Oh.
You just have to reverse the velocity and acceleration of the observer and add it vectorially to the velocity and acceleration of the object, and you have to consider the observer will be at rest. Understood everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Note it down. लिख लो एक बार. चाइना मैंने हिंदी बोला लेकिन very slowly बोला. Was it fine with you? हाँ.
Yes, sir, got it.
मैंने जो हिंदी बोला वो तुमको समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
अब इतना स्लो is good to understand for you.
Yeah, it's fine, sir.
ठीक, कभी कभी स्लो बोल दूंगा. Done? चलें एक क्वेश्चन ले लें आसान सा. बालकों. ओके डन. एक क्वेश्चन लेते हैं. देख सी, we always consider positive x-axis is east, this is west, this is north, this is south. We always have to consider this thing. Suppose initially body A, this is the body A that is traveling 8 meter per second in east direction, and body B is traveling in south direction with 6 meter per second. Understood? Now we have to find velocity of A with respect to B and velocity of B with respect to A. How will we do this? See, there are two methods. See, method one. If I find velocity of A with respect to B, then it can be written as velocity of A minus velocity of B. So velocity of A is what? 8I. 8I minus velocity of B is 6J. So this is the velocity. If you want to find the speed, you have to find the magnitude of this vector. That is under root 8 square plus 6 square, that is 10 meter per second. And if you have to find the direction, you can find it very simply. 8I means this way, minus 6J means this way. So the direction should be this. Sorry, my bad. It's my mistake. This is a plus because velocity of B, see, velocity of A is 8I and velocity of B is minus 6J. This is going down, so this is plus, my bad. So if I have to find, so this is 8I plus 6J is towards positive y-axis and resultant would be this thing. So this is your 8, this is your 6. You have to find direction. So just this is 6, so this is also 6. This is angle theta. So tan theta is 6 by 8. That is 3 upon 4. That is theta equal to 37 degree. So this is your 37 degree. So it can be written as 30 degree north of east. It means that we are measuring angle from east to north. Understood?
So what was the question?
Question was find velocity of A with respect to B and velocity of B with respect to A. So I found
Yeah, so
this
where
one.
does angle come from then? I can find magnitude and
A
direction.
vector has two components, magnitude as well as direction. Na?
So in I cap and J cap, we can't represent like that.
Sorry?
We can't represent it in terms of I cap and J cap.
You can. See now here we have this same thing. Na? But I went a step forward.
Okay.
Now see method 2. Let me tell you method 2 as well. So we have to find velocity of A with respect to velocity of B. Means who is observer here? B. Because we are finding with respect to B. So B is your observer. So A is 8 meter per second towards east and B is 6 meter per second downward. So which is your observer? B. So what we have to do is we have to just reverse the velocity of observer. So now this will be 6 meter per second and just add it vectorially. See 8I and plus 6J. You got the same thing. And this is your result. That is 10 meter per second with some angle 37 degree. Right? Okay, done. Let's move ahead. Third point is relative velocity, relative acceleration. It is the rate of change of relative velocity. So A, acceleration of A with respect to B can be written as d dt of velocity of B, velocity of A with respect to B. So this is d dt of velocity of A minus velocity of B. So this is d dt of VA minus d dt of VB. So this is acceleration of A minus acceleration of B. So again, we have the same concept, right? I'm not going into deep in this, here. We have the same concept. We always have to, whether it is position, velocity, or acceleration, we always have to subtract that position, velocity, or acceleration of the observer from the same of the object. We'll basically use three formula here. See, we know that V equal to U plus AT. So now here we'll use V relative equal to U relative plus A relative into T. Then S relative equal to U relative into T plus half A relative into T square, and V square equal to U square plus 2A as we use, right? So it will be V relative, U relative, A relative, S relative, all will be relative. It means that we always observe the velocity or acceleration of any object with respect to observer, and we'll assume that observer to be at rest, and that we'll use this formula and solve the question. I'll take some questions now. I'll start with the first question. Parth, good question now. I'll give everyone 2-3 seconds to think. देवयानी, ये तुम्हारे शर्ट का ये कलर किसने चूज किया? एकदम चमक रही है देवयानी। मम्मी ने चूज किया?
मम्मी को पसंद है ये कलर।
मस्त एकदम, लाइट एकदम अलग से दिखेगी वीर में भी। अच्छा है, अच्छा है। चलो एक क्वेश्चन लेते हैं, लू, ठीक है। देखो क्वेश्चन क्या है। क्वेश्चन है, from the ground you have suppose projected you have two projectile. Projectile A and projectile B. This object is projected at angle 60 degree with some initial velocity that is 20 root 3 meter per second, and this will be projected at 30 degrees and 30 degree angle with some initial velocity 20 meter per second, and in distance between these two objects, or you can say projectile, is 20 meters. Now question is find the minimum distance between these projectiles during their flight. ठीक है, let me solve. See, अगर तुम लोग चाहो तो वैसे भी रेक्टिलिनियर मोशन मतलब सिंपल काइनेमेटिक्स लगा करके तुम लोग यहाँ पे सॉल्व कर सकते हो, लेकिन वो बहुत डिफिकल्ट होगा. सो विल यूज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ रिलेटिव मोशन हियर. सो व्हाट वी विल डू is we'll analyze the motion of B. You have to analyze the motion of one object with respect to other object. So let's analyze the motion of B with respect to A. So A के relative concept use करेंगे और A के respect में हम B का motion analyze करते हैं. So now A is your observer and B is your object. Now A is observer, na? So what we'll do is we'll reverse the velocity of A. We will reverse the velocity of A and add vectorially to B. Understood? A is your object and we are analyzing motion of B with respect to A. So what we will do is we'll reverse the velocity of A and add vectorially to B. Understood? Now, so this angle is 60. So this is also 60. So this is the velocity of B and this is the velocity of A. That is 20 root 3 meter per second. So these two vectors will have some resultant vector. Suppose this is your resultant velocity. I don't know, but you have to suppose this angle is theta. Suppose this angle is theta. So we need to find the angle theta. So how will you find? see this is one vector. One vector is VB, that is 20 meter per second. Other vector is, let's say, VA, that is 20 root 3 centimeter, 20 root 3 centimeter meter per second. And this is the resultant vector. And this angle is how much? 30 plus theta. How do you find the angle between these two vectors? Tan of 30 plus theta. Angle between these vectors can be given as 20 root 3 upon 20. This is how we find the angle between vectors. Got
So
it?
it's just a right angle triangle. It's 30 plus 60, right? So we can just take it as a triangle.
How do we find the angle between vectors?
No, sir, but we already know it's 90 here. And we can find the resultant, and from that we can find.
But this is 90, na? 30
Yeah.
plus 60. Okay, my diagram is bad. Wait a minute. So this vector and this vector is perpendicular to each other, na? Because this is 30 and this is 60. So this will be 90, na? Right?
Yes,
This is
sir.
90. And resultant is this. So this is 30 plus theta. My diagram was wrong. That's why. So now we can find here tan 30 plus theta is, so this is your free local vector. So you can bring this vector over here. No problem in that. So this is also 20 root 3. So 20 root 3 upon 20. This gone, this gone. So 30 plus theta is tan 60 is root 3. This is 60. So theta is 30 degree. So we have theta. We got theta, that is 30 degree. And we are asked to find the minimum distance between them. So see, we have actually A is our observer. So we have use the concept of relative motion. So हमने क्या किया? A का velocity को reverse करके यहाँ add कर दिया B में. Now A will come to rest. Now this will come to rest. So A will be here only. Now B will travel along this way because we have subtracted the velocity of A to the velocity of B. Now A is at rest, only B will be moving. So B will be moving with a magnitude under root 20 root 3, that is 1200 plus 400, that is 40 meter per second. So B will move with 40 meter per second along this way at this angle with the horizontal. So the minimum distance between A and the B will be this thing, this perpendicular distance. This will be the minimum distance, right? ये minimum distance होगा AC. We have this angle 30. We have this length 20. We'll apply simple formula like sine 30 equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So sine 30 is how much? 1 by 2. So AC is 10 meter. So minimum distance is 10 meter. आया बात समझ में? Minimum distance is always along the perpendicular line.
So it's not 20, so it's 40, right? 40 meter per second. Speed of.
No, that velocity is 40 meter, na? But this distance was initially given 20 meter, na? Between A and B.
So, but how did you get the distance of B traveled by B?
No, it is asking like to find the minimum distance between the between these projectiles during their flight. So this will be the minimum distance. Because when this projectile will cross this point, this projectile B will come over here, and this distance will be more than this distance. So this will be the minimum distance only.
So, but you assume it's 20 meters here because I've given it as 20.
In question, it is given that initial distance between A and B was 20 meter.
So, okay.
So can you explain again after theta is equal to 30 degree?
देखो थीटा 30 मैंने निकाल लिया ना, तो जब ए हमारा ऑब्जर्वर है तो ए रेस्ट पे रहेगा। ए का जो वेलोसिटी है हमने सब्ट्रैक्ट कर दिया बी के वेलोसिटी से। हाँ, तो ए तो रेस्ट पे है, नाउ बी ही ट्रेवल करेगा खाली। अब बी अब ट्रेवल करेगा तो किस पाथ पे करेगा? तो बी इस पाथ पे ट्रेवल करेगा जो उसका रिजल्टेंट वेलोसिटी होगा उस पाथ पे। ये एंगल हमने पता कर लिया। अब यहां से देखो ए बी सी ट्रायंगल में जो मिनिमम डिस्टेंस होगा ना, अगर मान लो बी जब यहाँ आएगा तो ये डिस्टेंस ज्यादा होगा, ये और थोड़ा कम होगा। ये जो बिल्कुल परपेंडिकुलर होगा ना, इस ए से बिल्कुल परपेंडिकुलर, तभी जाके ये डिस्टेंस मिनिमम होगा। तो फिर इस पॉइंट को क्रॉस करेगा तो फिर ये डिस्टेंस बढ़ना चालू हो जाएगा, देख रहे हो? तो मिनिमम डिस्टेंस ए सी ही होगा। तो हमने इस ट्रायंगल में साइन थीटा इक्वल टू परपेंडिकुलर अपॉन हाइपोटेन्यूज लगा दिया। खत्म कहा। अब हाँ, इसमें एक बात है, इसमें एक मैंने एक बात बताना भूल गया। मैं ऐसा क्यों कह रहा हूँ कि ये जो वेलोसिटी है, ये जो ऑब्जेक्ट है ना, ये तुमको इसी लाइन पे चलेगा, क्यों ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ मैं? विथ कांस्टेंट वेलोसिटी चलेगा, क्यों ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ? क्योंकि देखो, एज सुन एज यू प्रोजेक्ट द प्रोजेक्टाइल ए एंड बी, जैसे तुम्हारे हाथ से छूटा उस पे एक ही फोर्स लगेगा, दैट विल बी ग्रेविटी। तो एक ही एक्सेलरेशन होगा, जी डाउनवर्ड। तो एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ ए जो होगा वो भी होगा जी डाउनवर्ड, एंड एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ बी जो होगा वो भी होगा जी डाउनवर्ड। तो एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ ए विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू बी क्या हो जाएगा? एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ ए माइनस एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ बी। तो दोनों जी माइनस जी सेम डायरेक्शन में, तो जीरो हो जाएगा। तो एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ बी या एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ बी कर दो विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू ए इज ए बी माइनस ए दैट इज जी माइनस जी, दैट इज जीरो। तो एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ बी विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू ए जीरो है। तो ए के रेस्पेक्ट में बी का कोई एक्सेलरेशन नहीं है। तो जब एक्सेलरेशन नहीं है तो वेलोसिटी चेंज नहीं होगा, कांस्टेंट वेलोसिटी से वो चलते रहेगा। इसलिए स्ट्रेट लाइन पे चलता रहेगा, राइट? समझा या फिर explain करूं?
सर मुझे ये क्वेश्चन का मतलब नहीं समझ आया, डिस्टेंस बिटवीन देयर प्रोजेक्टाइल्स, मतलब ये वही है क्या जब वो कोइंसाइड करेंगे?
कौन साइड करे ना करे ये तो पता नहीं, क्यों मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा एयर में। बट तुम किसी मान लो कि तुम भी एक बॉल को फेंकते हो और मैं भी एक बॉल को फेंकता हूँ, तो जरूरी नहीं कि कोलाइड करेगा करेगा एयर में। तो कभी न कभी मैंने जो बॉल फेंका है और तुमने जो बॉल को फेंका है, उनके बीच में कोई ना कोई एक मिनिमम डिस्टेंस तो होगा ही ना। एक दूसरे के पास जाएंगे 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 जाएंगे, एक लिमिट के बाद और पास नहीं जाएंगे एक दूसरे के। तो वो जो मिनिमम डिस्टेंस होगा दोनों के बीच में, जो मिनिमम सेपरेशन होगा ना, उसकी बात हो रही
ओके सर।
है। डन, लिख लिया?
Just a minute.
हम्म।
Done.
एग्जाम्पल ले लो, देखो दिस इज द ग्राउंड, फ्रॉम हियर one ball was projected, ball A was projected up with some speed 30 meter per second, and here ball B is just released, or ball just B is thrown at 20 meter per second, and the initial separation between ball A and ball B is 150 meter, right? Find time after which balls will
So 50 meters or 150 meters?
150 meter. Find time after which balls will collide. Try karo. If you try by kinematics, simple kinematics, they will solve it, but it will be little lengthier. So try the concept of relative motion. You have to analyze the motion of one object with respect to other object, right?
Is it 5 by 2 seconds?
It is
Is it 5 by 2 seconds?
how much?
Is it 5 by 2 seconds?
5 by 2 seconds. No, wrong.
Wait, no, 3 seconds. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh man.
खाली पार्थ को आया, किसी और को भी आया? बात बाकी किसी को समझ में आ रहा है? Are you guys, I mean, getting the approach? How would you solve it?
The answer is
3 seconds.
check कर दो एक बार.
So I think I also got it. Sir.
You got Shania?
Yeah, yes. Sir.
देखो मैं बताता हूं, तुम क्या करो, तुम किसी एक को ऑब्जर्वर मान लो, ठीक? मान लो एक को ऑब्जर्वर मान लेते हैं, एक को ऑब्जर्वर मान लेते हैं. सपोज मैं एज्यूम करता हूं कि ए जो है हमारा ऑब्जर्वर है, तो जिसको तुम ऑब्जर्वर मानोगे ना, तो वो रेस्ट पे रहेगा. तुम समझो कि यू आर जस्ट सिटिंग, यू सिट एट ए, सो वो ए जिसको ऑब्जर्वर माना है वो रेस्ट पे आ जाएगा. अब क्या करना होगा तुमको, ए का जो भी वेलोसिटी है, जो भी एक्सेलरेशन है, उसको उल्टा करके बी में ऐड कर देंगे. समझ मारी बात? हम ए को ऑब्जर्वर माने हैं, ए के रेस्पेक्ट में हम बी का मोशन एनालाइज कर रहे हैं. सो हम क्या करेंगे, ए का वेलोसिटी हो, एक्सेलरेशन हो, जो भी हो, उसको उल्टा करके हम बी में ऐड कर देंगे. अब इसका मतलब ये जो इसका 30 मीटर पर सेकंड ऊपर है, नाउ अब ये यहाँ पे नीचे उल्टा नीचे होगा और इसमें ऐड हो जाएगा। तो बी का जो नेट वेलोसिटी हो जाएगा वो क्या हो जाएगा, एक रेस्पेक्ट में 40 मीटर सॉरी मतलब 50 मीटर पर सेकेंड है। अब देखो एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ ए क्या है, वो भी जी नीचे है। एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ बी क्या है, वो भी जी नीचे है। तो बी का भी एक्सेलरेशन जी नीचे है और ए का भी एक्सेलरेशन जी नीचे है। और ए को तो हमने ऑब्जर्वर बनाया है, तो ए का जी उल्टा कर देंगे, ए का जो एक्सेलरेशन है उसको उल्टा करके यहाँ पे ऐड कर देंगे, तो ये दोनों एक दूसरे को नलीफाई कर देगा। इसका मतलब ये हो जाएगा वेलोसिटी ऑफ बी रिस्पेक्ट टू ए, और एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ बी विद रिस्पेक्ट टू ए क्या हो गया बेटा, जीरो हो गया, कोई एक्सेलरेशन नहीं है ए के रेस्पेक्ट में। अब ए जो है तुम्हारा ग्राउंड पे, दिस इज एट रेस्ट, ए विल नॉट मूव, ओनली बी विल कम। दिस डिस्टेंस इज गिवन, that is 150 meter. Now you can see how much time B will take to come from here to here. So S equal to ut, because there is no acceleration. So 150 equal to 50 into t, that is t equal to 3 second. आया बात समझ में? Any doubt?
Sir,
हाँ.
sir, can you explain your method again one more time?
I told you that what I told just now is
So you
we
just
have
added the speeds and
acceleration.
that's all, right? And then you
So
found
out of these two objects A and B, you have to assume one of them is as observer. Suppose I consider A is observer. So if I consider A is observer, then velocity of A and velocity of and acceleration of A, you just have to reverse those two quantity and add it to the velocity and acceleration of the object B. And now consider A at rest. Now A will not move. So B will come down because there is no acceleration of B with respect to A. So it will come with constant velocity. So at any time you can say that the displacement is velocity into time, right?
got it, sir.
Okay. सबको समझ में आ गया अच्छे से? What did I say, Sania, just now? What did I say?
So basically, you have to reverse the observer's speed and add it vectorially to the first one. So here it's already minus 30. So you just have to minus of minus 30 is plus 30. So 20 plus 30 is 50. And you just do speed equals distance by time.
No, सबको समझ में आ गया.
Oh, I thought, sir, you said. So did
No,
you
no.
ask to repeat it?
Did you understand what I just
Yeah,
told?
yeah, yeah.
सबको समझ में आ गया. क्या बोला
Yeah.
मैंने?
Yeah, I got it.
मैं बोलो तुम हिंदी में तो सबको समझ में आ गया.
Sir?
बोलो सबको समझ में आ गया.
So you're asking if everyone understood.
हाँ, तुम जरा हिंदी बोलो ना एक बार.
Okay, सबको समझ आया. So it's not like I don't know. I learned until 4th grade, so I know it.
Okay. ठीक है. Okay. चलो. Let's take another example. Another good example. Question is, a bird flies to and fro between two cars which move with velocities v1 and v2 if the speed of the bird is v3 and the initial distance of separation between them is d. Find total distance covered by the bird till the cars meet. Solve करो.
So I'm not sure, but like there was a similar question like this, and the answer was infinity or something.
अरे no.
Okay.
No.
Because I was very confused for that also. Because so it was
No.
like a car was turning around an edge and there was a
No,
bird.
see, there are two cars. They are moving in opposite direction. So sometime they will definitely meet.
Yes. Okay.
So what? There is one bird which is flying from first car to second car. So like bird will also fly. Car will also come forward.
Yeah.
Then this bird will meet the second car and it will come back. So the time that bird will take from that car to reach to the first car, in that time, car one will also move like that, right? Solve it.
So is it just D into V3 by V1 minus V2?
Kind of. It's not a V1 minus V2. It would be V1 plus V2.
Oh yeah, because they're going opposite direction. Yeah, so yeah, V1 plus V2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good, Shaina. You solved too quickly.
सर आंसर क्या है?
Answer है total distance is D upon V1 plus V2 into
अपॉन
V.
OV सर आ गया.
अरे वाह अर्चित खुश मजा आया. पारस गोस्वामी नहीं आया.
For me,
हाँ.
I said yes like a minute back.
Okay, you got. श्रेया जी आपको, आयुषी जी आपको.
सर मुझे नहीं आया.
अच्छा, श्रेया जी को भी नहीं आया होगा.
नहीं सर आ गया.
कौन आया?
आंसर आ गया सर.
कैसे सॉल्व किया? एक्सप्लेन करो.
सर velocity of both the car velocity v1 2 is equals to v1 plus v2 होगा.
क्या होगा?
क्योंकि दोनों एक ही डायरेक्शन में चल रहे हैं.
एक ही डायरेक्शन में. ये इधर जा रहा है.
नहीं मतलब एक कार इस तरफ आ रहा है, एक दूसरे के ऑपोजिट जा रहे हैं.
ओके.
एंड देन टाइम टेकन मैंने d डिस्टेंस लिया, तो वो d डिस्टेंस कवर करने में टाइम लगेगा d बाई v12 एंड v12 को मैंने v1 प्लस v2 लिखा है।
ठीक है, ठीक है। देखो आयुषी, यहां से एक बर्ड फ्लाई करना चालू करेगा, यहां से कुछ आगे आएगा, तब तक ये कार भी इस साइड आएगा, तो मान लो बर्ड यहाँ पे मिला, फिर बर्ड यहाँ से पीछे मुड़ेगा, फिर थोड़ा और आगे आएगा, तब तक ये कार भी आगे आएगा, तो बर्ड उससे मिला, फिर बर्ड पीछे आएगा, ऐसे करके टू एंड फ्रो बर्ड चलते रहेगा। तो बेसिकली तुमको ये देखना है कि बर्ड ने कितना डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल किया। बर्ड का जो वेलोसिटी है, जो स्पीड है, वो कांस्टेंट है। तो तुम बेसिकली करो क्या, एक कार को रेस्ट पे मान लो कि कार ए को हमने रेस्ट पे एज्यूम कर लिया, मतलब कार ए के रेस्पेक्ट में हम कार बी के मोशन को एनालाइज कर रहे हैं। तो जैसे कार ए अगर रेस्ट पे आया, तो रिलेटिव जो मोशन का कॉन्सेप्ट कहता है कि इस कार का जो वेलोसिटी होगा उसको उल्टा करके कार बी के वेलोसिटी में ऐड कर दो, तो इस कार बी का जो वेलोसिटी होगा वो क्या हो जाएगा इफेक्टिवली, v1 प्लस v2, किसके रेस्पेक्ट में, ए के रेस्पेक्ट। अब ए तो रेस्ट में है, तो ए रेस्ट में है, तो देखो कि इस कार बी को यहां से यहां तक आने में हाउ मच टाइम इट विल टेक, सो दैट विल बी गिवन एज टोटल डिस्टेंस अपॉन वेलोसिटी। अब जितने टाइम में ये दोनों कार मीट करेगा, उतने टाइम तक तो बर्ड को इधर उधर इधर उधर इधर उधर चलना ही पड़ेगा। तो इतने टाइम में कार ए तुम्हारा रेस्ट में है, तो इतना टाइम लगेगा बी को यहां से यहां आने में, तो उतने टाइम में ये बर्ड कितना डिस्टेंस चल लेगा, तो v3 into time taken by this, and here is your answer. समझ लो ना?
यस सर।
एक बढ़िया क्वेश्चन लो, तगड़ा क्वेश्चन इरोडोव का। लो, करो सो।
सर वो एक दूसरे की तरफ कर रहे हैं या ऑपोजिट सेम डायरेक्शन में?
क्या बोल रहे हो?
सर वो सेम डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहे हैं ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में?
रैंडम सा है, किसी भी।
So I think I got like somewhere close to the answer, but I'm not really sure.
Saying something?
Yeah, so I think I got like the concept of the answer, and I might have got the answer, but I'm not completely sure.
Can you explain whatever you are thinking?
So because I say that the particles collide, I assume the time would be the same. And I didn't really know what a radius vector was, but then I assumed that would be the
Radius
time.
vector is in Erodo, they
Yeah.
have used the radius vector as position vector of a particle.
Yeah, I took it as position. So what I did is R1 by V1. So the radius of the first one divided by velocity of the first one should be equal to the time. So this is the same as R2 by V2. So R1 by V1 equals R2 by V2. And if you cross multiply, you should get V2 by V1 equals R2 by R1. And if you take it as relative, then you can get it as R1 minus R2 divided by modulus of R1 minus R2, because it will be R2. It's you take it as the other observer, so it will become modulus of it. And same applies for velocity.
I appreciate your effort. I like the way you thought. That was very good. That is very good, but very close. Now let me explain. Very good, very good. Okay, now see, the solution will be like, see, in Erodo, they see if there is a different way to represent the vector in Erodo. How? See, this is simple A, it means a scalar quantity, but if this is in bold. If this is in bold, it means that it is a vector, right? Okay. In Erodo, they say position vector as radius vector. So radius vector is position vector. Now see, A and B. So the position vector of A is R1 and the position vector of B is R2. So R1 and R2 are in bold, so they are a vector quantity. So R1 vector and R2 vector. Suppose this A is moving in some random direction with some velocity V1, and this is moving in some other random direction in V2. I don't know the angle or direction. Now, it is saying that you have to relate these four quantity if they have to collide somewhere, right? Suppose if this A is going in this direction, so this will go in this straight line, on this straight line, and B will go on this straight line and will collide somewhere, right? But we'll use the concept of relative motion because, in that way, it will be very easy for us to understand. So what we will do is, we'll analyze the motion of one object with respect to other objects. So let's analyze the motion of B with respect to A. Analyze the motion of B with respect to A. So our observer is here, A. So now A will come to rest. So A will come to rest. So now this will come to rest now. Right? And what we will do is, we will reverse the velocity of A and we'll add it vectorially to B. Okay. So see, this is the line joining A and B. So we are analyzing the motion of B with respect to A. So this can be written as for the radius vector of B with respect to A. That is R2 minus R1. And we'll simply रिवर्स कर देंगे A का वेलोसिटी और B में ऐड कर देंगे. तो ऐड कर दो like this हमने ऐड कर दिया. That is minus V1. That is minus V1. ऐड कर दिया. तो अब देखो यहां से क्या होगा. ये B है, इसका अपना एक वेलोसिटी है, that is V2. एंड ये इसका अपना एक ये A के कारण रिवर्स करके हमने ऐड किया. और A is somewhere here, that is at rest. अब तुम खुद ही बताओ, तुम खुद सोचो कि इफ both the particles have to collide, A तो रेस्ट पे है, A तो मूव करेगा नहीं. So B will come to A, B will come to A and then collide, है ना? इसका मतलब B will have to follow this path and resultant velocity of this vector and this vector must follow this path. will be along this path only. So resultant of these two vectors would be what? Vector sum of these two vectors. And what this is what? This is the position of B with respect to A, or you can say position of A with respect to B. So this can also be written in this term. RA minus RB means R1 minus R2, right? And they have the same direction. This vector as well as this vector will have same direction. So how do you find the direction of any vector? You find unit vector. Suppose you have a vector A and you want to find the direction of this vector A. So you just have to find the unit vector of A cap. That is A vector upon its magnitude. So both these vectors will have the same direction. So find the direction of this vector, divide by its magnitude, bachcha log. This must be equal to this because they are in same direction. This is how we can relate. Understood or not? Very easy to understand from relative motion concept. Doubt है तो पूछो.
सर एक बार जब आपने डायग्राम ड्रॉ करा उसके बाद से वापस से बता दो.
मैंने क्या बोला कि देखो हमने ए को ऑब्जर्वर मान लिया और ए के रेस्पेक्ट में मैं बी के मोशन को एनालाइज कर रहा हूँ.
सर सेकंड
और-
डायग्राम बनाया वो बोला.
यहाँ पे ना अब तुम देखो कि ये एक वेक्टर है v2 और ये वेक्टर है -v1. इसका दो वेक्टर का रिजल्टेंट क्या होता है? मान लो ए एक वेक्टर है, ए वेक्टर है और ये लेट से बी वेक्टर है. इनका रिजल्टेंट क्या होगा? ए प्लस बी सम एंगल पे होगा. तो मैंने v2 प्लस ऑफ -v1, तो v2 -v1 आया. अब क्योंकि देखो अगर मान लो इसका रिजल्टेंट वेलोसिटी इस डायरेक्शन में अगर हुआ तो ये बॉल बी के ये जो बी है वो किस पाथ में मूव करेगा? इस डायरेक्शन में मूव करेगा. अगर ये बी इस डायरेक्शन में मूव किया तब तो ये ए से कभी नहीं टकराएगा नहीं, क्योंकि ए तो रेस्ट पे है, तो मूव करेगा नहीं. इसलिए बी को ए के साथ टकराने के लिए बी को इसी डायरेक्शन में मूव करना पड़ेगा, बिल्कुल इस स्ट्रेट लाइन पे. तो इसका डायरेक्शन क्या होगा? अगर इस वेक्टर के हेल्प से अगर हम डायरेक्शन निकालें तो ये वेक्टर डिवाइडेड बाय इट्स मैग्नीट्यूड. अब ये जो है इसको एक और तरीके से लिखा जा सकता है कि ये जो है रिलेटिव पोजीशन ऑफ बी या ए, मान लो रिलेटिव पोजीशन ऑफ ए विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू बी, दैट इज R1 माइनस R2. तो ये भी वेक्टर क्वांटिटी है. तो डायरेक्शन को डिफाइन करने के लिए दिस इज वन मोर वे. So with the help of this vector, we again found the direction. This vector divided by its magnitude, and we just equated it because both represent the same thing.
So why did we take different as observers, like the different object observers? Because for velocity we took one as observer, and for position we took two as observer.
You can do anyway, like in any way, we just have to represent the direction, right?
So it's okay if we write R2 minus R1 divided by modulus of R2 minus R1.
Yes,
Okay.
that will be the same thing. डन, चले आगे.
Yes, sir.
Next question. Suppose we have a lift. We have a lift. In this lift is going up with some speed. I don't know the speed. With some acceleration. That acceleration is 2 meters per second square. And there is a boy standing in this lift. There is a boy standing in this lift. He will drop a coin. He will drop a coin. The initial height of this coin from the floor of the lift is 1.5 meter. 1.5 meter. 1.5 meter, right? Question is, find time taken by coin to reach the floor of the lift. To strike the floor of the lift. See, there are two ways. One way is you can say that suppose as soon as you drop it, it will come down in some t time. It will come down in t time, some distance, and in that time only, like this lift will also go up and somewhere here. If it comes down by y distance, and the initial distance was 1.5 meter, so this distance will be traveled by lift in the same time, and then you apply the displacement formula, and you can eliminate t or you can eliminate y, and you will get time, right? So that is little lengthier. But here we'll talk about the relative motion. Relative motion, ठीक है? देखो क्या होगा?
So can you give us like few minutes?
Few minutes, okay. करो, few minutes चाहिए तो.
सर क्या क्या डिटेल्स दिया हुआ है एक्सेलरेशन 2 मीटर पर
बस एक्सेलरेशन दिया है और यू पता नहीं कितना दिया है, वो नहीं पता. लिफ्ट का एक्सेलरेशन दिया है बस.
सर आंसर न्यूमेरिक वैल्यू में है ना?
नहीं, कुछ अंडर रूट 15 अपॉन या कुछ 6 ऐसे करके है. हाँ, न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू ही होगा. न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू होगा, ऑब्वियस सी बात है, बट उसका आंसर कुछ है अंडर रूट 1.5 अपॉन 6.
Yes. Sir.
You got
Like
that?
you will. Yes.
Okay.
So what is the answer?
I think square root of 1.5 upon 6 second. See, let me solve it. See, the boy is in lift, right? So observe the motion in lift only. There can be two ways, like observer can sit on the ground and then observe the motion. But in that case, like we'll have to consider both the motion of coin and motion of lift. So it's better to always observe the motion from lift only. So observer will sit in lift only, right? So with respect to that observer, lift will be at rest, right? So analyze the situation from लिफ्ट. तो लिफ्ट में बैठकर एनालाइज करो. अब देखो तुम लिफ्ट में बैठे हो तो तुम क्या देखोगे कि कॉइन यहां से गिरा, इट विल गो डाउन एंड स्ट्राइक द फ्लोर ऑफ द लिफ्ट. तो अगर तुम लिफ्ट में हो तो इसका मतलब यू आर एज्यूमिंग दैट लिफ्ट इज एट रेस्ट. तो लिफ्ट का जो वेलोसिटी होगा, वेलोसिटी ऑफ लिफ्ट क्या हो जाएगा, u, जो कि अपवर्ड है, कुछ ना कुछ वेलोसिटी होगा. एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ लिफ्ट क्या होगा, जो कि 2 मीटर पर सेकेंड है, जो कि अपवर्ड है. अब एज सुन एज यू ड्रॉप द कॉइन, तो ऐसा है ना कि अगर मैंने कॉइन को ड्रॉप किया, जैसे एयर बलून में तुम अगर मान लो बलून इज गोइंग अप एंड वन स्टोन इज ड्रॉप, सो दैट स्टोन दैट स्टोन विल पिक द वेलोसिटी ऑफ द बलून गोइंग अप. सो अगर मान लो तुम एयर बलून में यहाँ पे तुम बैठे हो और तुम ये ड्रॉप करते हो एक स्टोन को, तो क्या होगा, ये मान लो इसका कुछ वेलोसिटी होगा 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड के हिसाब से. तो balloon will also pick the velocity of this air balloon, and balloon will first go 10 meter per second and then will come down, right? So वैसे ही as soon as you drop the coin will also will take the velocity of the boy, and boy is traveling in lift. So lift is traveling with u velocity. So boy is also traveling with u. So this coin will also take this velocity u. So velocity of coin initially will be u upward, and acceleration of coin as soon as you drop this, its acceleration will be g, that is downward. Understood? So if you observe from lift, it means that lift is at rest. So what you have to do is lift का velocity and lift का acceleration उल्टा करके, रिवर्स करके coin पे लगा दो. तो coin हमारा, ये coin है, coin हमारा ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है, लिफ्ट ऊपर जा रहा था लेकिन उसका वेलोसिटी उल्टा करके लगाऊंगा तो ये और ये कट गया. तो देयर इज नो इनिशियल वेलोसिटी, देयर इज नो रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी ऑफ कॉइन विद रिस्पेक्ट टू लिफ्ट. कॉइन वाज कमिंग डाउन विद एक्सेलरेशन g, लिफ्ट वाज गोइंग अप विद एक्सेलरेशन a, दैट इज 2 मीटर पर सेकेंड. उसको उल्टा करके लगाओ इसमें तो +2 आएगा. सो इफेक्टिव एक्सेलरेशन विल बी g +2, राइट. अब यहाँ पे लिफ्ट रेस्ट पे है. अब हमें निकल गया, हमें v रिलेटिव, जो u रिलेटिव हो गया कॉइन का कितना 0, a रिलेटिव हो गया तो मैं g +2, दैट इज 12 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर. तो नाउ इट इज लाइक तुमने बस ड्रॉप किया है कॉइन को, तो s रिलेटिव इक्वल टू u रिलेटिव इंटू t प्लस हाफ a रिलेटिव इंटू t स्क्वायर. s रिलेटिव हाउ मच 1.5 मीटर, u रिलेटिव 0 है, प्लस हाफ इंटू 12 इंटू t स्क्वायर. सो यू गॉट t हियर square root of 1.5 upon 6. Bolo, understood or not?
Yes, sir.
सर u रिलेटिव 0 इसलिए होगी ना क्योंकि हम उसको लिफ्ट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से वो देख रहे हैं.
Yes, yes, yes. हो गया, चले आगे, सबका हो गया। चलो एक और अच्छा क्वेश्चन लो फ्रॉम एरोडो। ट्राई करो इस क्वेश्चन को।
So what is the answer for the first question?
0.7 सेकेंड।
So under root 27 by 56 will be that or something else?
सॉरी,
I got time equals under root 27 by 56. Is that roughly 0.7 or is that not at all close?
थिंक।
So no, I got the answer, but then
सर मेरा आंसर तो आ गया बट मैं श्योर नहीं हूँ। अगर आपको मेथड भेजूँ व्हाट्सएप पे।
Sir, 0.79.
भेज दिया सर।
चलो जी, किसको किसको आया 0.7 सेकेंड?
So I got it. Points.
ओके, और किसी को आया क्या?
Yes,
अब
sir.
मैं
Good.
एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ, अब मैं एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ, अब मैं एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ। देखो क्या है कि एक एलिवेटर है, एक एलिवेटर है यहाँ पे, एक एलिवेटर है। एलिवेटर में क्या है कि जो उसका हाइट है एलिवेटर का, वो ये पूरा का पूरा जो हाइट है, ये इट इज गिवन 2.7 मीटर। ठीक है, इसने बोला कि एलिवेटर स्टार्ट्स असेंडिंग विथ कांस्टेंट एक्सेलरेशन। जो एलिवेटर का जो एक्सेलरेशन है दैट इज 1.2 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर अपवर्ड है, असेंडिंग मतलब ऊपर। 2 सेकेंड आफ्टर द स्टार्ट ए वोल्ट बिगिंस फॉलिंग। मान लो जब ये ट्रेवलिंग मतलब जब ये ऊपर जा रहा है, तो आफ्टर 2 सेकेंड कोई एक वोल्ट होगा जो कि मान लो ढीला हो गया, एंड इट विल फॉल डाउन। तो किसी मोमेंट 2 सेकेंड पे, आफ्टर 2 सेकेंड, मान लो टी इक्वल टू 0 पे ये स्टार्ट किया असेंड करना, टी इक्वल टू 2 सेकेंड पे इस लिफ्ट का कितना होगा वेलोसिटी? v इक्वल टू u प्लस at, दैट इज इनिशियल वेलोसिटी इज 0 एंड एक्सेलरेशन इज 1.2 इंटू 2, दैट इज 2.4 मीटर पर सेकेंड। ये हमारा वेलोसिटी होगा आफ्टर 2 सेकेंड। मतलब 2 सेकेंड के बाद जब ये वोल्ट विल बिगिन टू फॉल, उस मोमेंट पे लिफ्ट विल हैव वेलोसिटी 2.4 मीटर पर सेकेंड। तुम्हें पता है कि जब ये बोल्ट विल स्टार्ट फॉलिंग, then bolt will pick the velocity of initial velocity of lift, तो बोल्ट का भी वेलोसिटी कितना हो जाएगा? 2.4 मीटर पर सेकेंड, बट अपवर्ड। है कि नहीं है? तो इसने क्या बोला कि तुम बोल्ट का फ्री फॉल टाइम ले। तो मान लो कि मैं ऑब्जर्वर हूँ, ऑब्जर्वर जो है ना, आई विल सिट इन लिफ्ट ओनली, ऑब्जर्वर आई विल सिट इन लिफ्ट ओनली। ठीक है, तो लिफ्ट का जो वेलोसिटी है वो कितना है? 2.4 मीटर पर सेकेंड आफ्टर 2 सेकेंड की बात हो रही है। और लिफ्ट का जो एक्सेलरेशन है वो तुमको 1.2 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर। ठीक है, अच्छा, बोल्ट का कितना वेलोसिटी होगा आफ्टर 2 सेकेंड? 2.4 मीटर पर सेकेंड। और जो एक्सेलरेशन ऑफ बोल्ट होगा वो कितना होगा? जैसे ही वो गिर गया तो उसका एक्सेलरेशन क्या होगा बेटा? जी होगा। ये भी ऊपर की तरफ, ये भी ऊपर की तरफ, ये भी ऊपर की तरफ, बट ये जी नीचे होगा। एज सुन एज बोल्ट विल fall, start falling, it will have g acceleration डाउन साइड। अच्छा, अब तुम देखो बोल्ट यहाँ पे कहीं पे होगा, इसके फ्लोर पे वो नीचे आएगा। अगर मैं लिफ्ट में बैठूंगा एज ऑब्जर्वर, देन आई विल सी दैट दिस बोल्ट विल फॉल फ्रॉम हियर टू द फ्लोर ऑफ द लिफ्ट। तो बोल्ट का अपना जो एक्सीलरेशन है वो 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर है और लिफ्ट ऊपर जा रहा है, लिफ्ट को हमने ऑब्जर्वर मानना है, तो लिफ्ट का जो एक्सीलरेशन होगा वो डाउनवर्ड होगा, उल्टा करके ऐड करना पड़ेगा अपने को, तो ये हो जाएगा 11.2 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर। एंड वेलोसिटी अगर देखेंगे इस बोल्ट का तो ऊपर है और लिफ्ट भी ऊपर है, तो लिफ्ट का जब वेलोसिटी उल्टा करेंगे और ऐड करेंगे तो फिर वो नलीफाई कर देगा एक दूसरे को, तो रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी तो है नहीं बिल्कुल, तो इनिशियल जो रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी है वो तो जीरो हो गया। अब ये कितना नीचे आएगा 2.7 मीटर, तो 2.7 मीटर इक्वल टू हाफ इंटू 11.2 इंटू टी स्क्वायर, तो जरा देखो तो कितना आया 5.6, तो टी कितना आएगा अंडर रूट 27/56, क्या ये उतना ही आता है? व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस टर्म?
This
ये
is 0.7. I used a
0.69
calculator.
उठा रही है 7।
So we'll get point. So we have the same answer 0.7 second. Understood, right? Right, correct now? Okay. This was note करना है, note कर लो because now I'll now solve B part. Everyone understood the concept behind this? Hmm. Done. Noted. आयुषी समझ में आ रहा है? आयुषी है ही नहीं क्या?
यस सर।
अच्छा हो गया। अच्छा सबको समझ में आ रहा है ना? श्रेया तुमको समझ में आ रहा है?
हाँ सर।
चलो बिठाओ इसको।
यस सर।
देखो अब नेक्स्ट जो इसका वो है बी पार्ट देखते हैं। डिस्प्लेसमेंट निकालना है एंड वी हैव टू फाइंड डिस्टेंस कवर्ड बाय द बोल्ट ड्यूरिंग द फ्री फॉल इन द रेफरेंस फ्रेम फिक्स टू एलिवेटर शाफ्ट। देखो रेफरेंस फ्रेम फिक्स टू एलिवेटर शाफ्ट कहने का मतलब विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू ग्राउंड, ध्यान रखेंगे लोग। रेफरेंस फ्रेम फिक्स टू एलिवेटर शाफ्ट कहने का मतलब ग्राउंड के रिस्पेक्ट में। अब एक बात देखो, यहाँ पे जब ये लिफ्ट आया है तुम्हारा आफ्टर 2 सेकेंड, तो इस बोल्ट का अपना कुछ स्पीड होगा। अब हम ग्राउंड के रिस्पेक्ट में बात कर रहे हैं। नाउ वी आर ऑब्जर्विंग द मोशन ऑफ द कॉइन और बोल्ट with respect to ground. Now what we'll see is this bolt, when this bolt will start falling, this bolt will have initial velocity in upward direction. So this bolt will have initial velocity in upward direction. It will go up and will come down and strike the floor. So what will be the displacement? So it will go up and come down. So no displacement from here to here, 0. And whatever this would be the displacement, this would be the displacement. So how much time it will take to strike the floor? 0.7 second. So let's find displacement. That is, there is no relative velocity initially. Oh, no. With respect to ground, we are observing. So displacement is u relative. No, why u relative? We are observing with respect to ground. So ut plus half gt square. So everything is being observed from ground. So the initial velocity of this bolt will be 2.4 meter per second upward. And how much time it will take? 0.7 second. And the acceleration g will act on this point because no observer is sitting on the ground. So only g will act on this. So minus half g into t square. You solve it, you will get the answer. This thing. And now it is asking about the third thing is distance. Distance is how much? From here to here and then here to here. Complete thing. So you have to find this displacement and plus this plus this. So you just have to find the up to what maximum height it will go. So at maximum height, the velocity will be 0. So let's apply the formula. V square equal to U square plus 2as 0 equal to 2.4 square minus 2a into s. So s means h max. H. This is h. H. This is your h. So that will come out some value. So the total distance will be h up, h down, and then this 0.7. 0.7. So h up, h down plus this 0.7. So you will get the answer. Understood? Solve it, you will get the answer.
Yes. Sir.
Everyone understood the concept, displacement and distance,
Yes, sir.
and you have to remember like observer like in respect to elevator shaft means with respect to ground.
Yeah.